Well, winter is here, but we're going to talk alfalfa anyway, and that's Don Miller's forte. Don, of course, our expert with AlfalFaX, Director of Product Development. And Don, of course, as we look at next year, the growing season, 3-4 cuts, whatever we get, but then as we start to put the plants to bed for winter and we see some problems out there, what are some of our options?
You know, the last few weeks we've been talking about getting a good stand, and hopefully you did that, did everything right and got a good stand. But really the very last step in that first year is to make sure that that stand is going into the winter in a good shape. But before then, if for some reason you didn't get a good stand and you need to thicken up some spots out in the field, we can go out into that field and put some more seed down, and we don't have to worry about autotoxicity during that first year. Where you can't follow alfalfa with alfalfa. You can still thicken up that stand during that first year and add a little bit of seed to those weak spots out in the field. But the main thing is to make sure that you plant that new seed at least 6 weeks before winter or killing frost. Give it a little bit of time to get established before we go into the winter.
And the magic date around here has always been for that last cut around Labor Day, you know, before or take one later. What are you recommending?
Yeah, I think that's a good date. Again, we need about 6 weeks of growth. And as far as the plant is concerned, you know, it comes out of this ground, has the cotyledons in that first true leaf. But what we're trying to do is to get into where we have triple leaves on that plant before we go into the winter. That ensures that we have a little bit better chance of survival going into that winter with those new seedlings.
And we always talk about reserve, the winter reserve for those plants. Can we do some harm to that?
Yeah, you know, every time you cut alfalfa, all the new regrowth is coming from the root reserves. And so the timing of that last cut, if we have an untimely last cut and the alfalfa's trying to put up some new growth and that gets frosted back, we've depleted a lot of the root reserves going into the winter, and so those plants are in a weakened state going into that winter. The root reserves are not what they need to be, and you have a chance of a winter kill in those situations.
How short can we or should we make that last cut? Skin it right down or leave 4, 5, 6 inches?
Well, it'd be nice to leave a little bit of stubble, you know, in this area where we get some pretty severe winters. That stubble allows you to catch a little bit of snow, gives you some insulation, and really protects that plant during the winter months, and a little bit better chance of surviving the winter.
And hopefully Mother Nature cooperates and helps us a little bit too. Dr. Don Miller, our expert, Director of Product Development with AlfalFaX Seeds.